Hi everyone. So I have a little presentation because I always I don't start with the fact that everyone knows about what we do. The footprint of our action is the island of Montreal, so it's quite limited. So that gives us a tremendous power, I would say. So we've been trying to serve the community the best we can since 1956. So what we do is really to try to contribute to the reality of Montreal artistic vitality, and we do that by being on the ground in the field. And so the funding is the money that we give and give out as grants, and supporting and promoting is something that is important. We give a lot of accompagnement, and the promotion is also through prizes and making sure that the impact of the arts are shown and visible. So who we fund, Montreal-based, meaning the island of Montreal, professional arts organization and artists, but I have to say artists collectives. So we are not at that individual artist level yet, maybe never, but basically an artist collective is two plus, so it's two artists. So we're basically doing it, but we're not calling it funding individual artists. But on limited initiatives where there's specific needs, we do fund individual artists. All disciplines except movie production, book writing, and comedy, and some areas of music, but they're very specific. So everything doesn't really matter. And we work from the margins, not from the center of the box. That's what matters to us. So there are many opportunities, but I summarize them into 6 blocks. Mostly the grants, so the money, the funding that we get. So we have a large pocket of money that's called the General Funding Program. It's very large, it's a very wide door. You don't have to wait a year or 2 years to apply. So there's no a waiting period. So you can apply as soon as you exist, which is part of our mandate to come in early in funding. Specific funding in all sorts of shapes. For specific groups, we have specific dedicated programs for Indigenous artists, deaf and artists living with a disability, specific practices for underrepresented artists, internships in different shapes as well, in philanthropy, for Indigenous artists, different levels of help, residencies, local, international, we work. Sometimes we manage the residency, or we have partners, or we have international partners. So they're very wide. Sometimes they're very, very specific, very narrow for only 1 or 2 beneficiaries. Prizes, also in different size and shapes as well. There's also, of course, the Grand Prix des Conseil des Arts de Montréal, celebrating his 40th anniversary next season, but also very specific prizes for women's writers. We were involved with the Quebec Writer Federation for a number of years for youth program prizes. The touring program is a huge one. So the largest pocket of funding is the General Funding Program. It's between the core mission funding and the project funding. It's around 13 million. And the touring program is around 2 million. And it's a great program if you've already produced something and you're looking at touring it within the Maison de la Culture or the ADICIM network. The ADICIM is mostly the West Island presenters. But also we're highly involved with the City of Montreal around the question of creative space and making sure space is affordable, accessible, and secure for artists. We fund around $500,000 on creative space initiatives dedicated to ensuring that Montreal is a city that can have the artists living and working in Montreal. So it's a very big issue for Montreal and all creative cities. A few tips, and I love to share those tips. Apply. Yes, it's a lot of work. We're working on a next strat plan where we are envisioning to make it even easier for everyone to apply. Get the feedback from the advisors. We have dedicated disciplinary advisors at the council. Whenever you get a no from an application, get the feedback, as much feedback as you can. It's very helpful. We are we are here to give you as much as we can. Get help. I mean, ELAN is a great resource. There are plenty of resources in your community that also deliver plenty of support, and get mentors to help you. There are people that you may know that already received funding or support from us. And also I want to point out that we kind of need to change the narrative at one point. We've been in crisis. I mean, the world is in crisis as well at the same time. And we have some superpowers, I believe. So the power of the arts is very strong. They have some powers and some tools that others don't have, and much needed in this society right now. When you're looking at disinformation, the freedom of speech, diplomacy that's kind of lacking. There's stuff that we've been doing for ages as artists, touring and reaching out to others, that are much, much needed right now. So we are much in a position of power. And also the fact that one of the superpowers in Montreal especially is our diaspora. People from all practices and all origins come to Montreal to become artists. And that has an impact on how we can also project the rest of the world and travel and make our art travel. I think that's one of our superpowers.
Hi there, I am Deborah Forde, and I am the Director of Operations for ELAN, the English Language Arts Network. And it is my pleasure to come and tell you a bit about ELAN and what we do. Let's start with the Community Digital Arts Hub. Fantastic place where you can go and create content for promotion, for the work that you're doing to be included in your work. You can do your portfolio there. You can find the equipment you need to do all of that work in a comfortable environment. And if you're not comfortable doing the work yourself, you can get assistance. We have this gifted group of people who are there to help you to get that work done, technicians who know what they're doing and can show you how to get the best out of the work. Looking for funds to do that work? Let me tell you about the Quebec Relations project. The people at Quebec Relations are happy to sit down with you and find out what your project is about, and then figure out where there is funding to support your work. On top of that, if you're not comfortable doing a grant for the first time, we'll help you by finding you a grant specialist to help you write that grant. Now, let me be very careful in saying to you, they will not write it for you, but they will help you write it. And that way you get to build the experience to write them again in the future. Let me tell you about funding, the Trellis Micro-grants. ELAN has partnered with Canadian Heritage to give out microgrants to support the work of the English language arts community. You can, as an individual artist or artist collective, get $15,000 for a year, and as an organization, $25,000 a year. Now, I'm not going to pretend there's a lot of grants going out, but you can't get it if you don't apply, and the next application period will be this fall. Let me tell you a bit about ELAN membership. You need to learn how to do something. You need to find someone who can advise you on how to do that. You need to just get up in front of the community and tell them about your work. Or better yet, you're looking to find your community. ELAN membership will help you do that. I used to be a scrapper in my youth. I mean, a real scrapper. If there was a political fight to have, I was there. Those days are behind me, and I don't have it in me anymore. But those fights still have to be fought. For the English language community, English language arts community. I don't have to tell you how we have to fight for every dollar that we get. ELAN is in that fight. Our new executive director, she's got steam on her heels, and she's out there fighting for you. Whether that's being at a consultation and telling them what they need to know so they make good decisions for us, or after a decision's been made, where we have to tell them how these decisions are affecting us. It is so important to have a chair at that table, and ELAN has one. And our executive director is the right person to be out there fighting for you. The best part of being ELAN is that you will find people who understand you and your work. The reason behind that is because every member of ELAN is an artist. And I can tell you, as an artist, I am a proud member of ELAN, And I think you should become one too.